What aspect of these coalition negotiations will the financial markets be able to focus on?
Yeah, I think they're really going to be looking at two things. One is, will we avoid a general election? Markets generally like stability, and they want to avoid that. If the general election is avoided by the Democrats and the Five-Star Movement forming a coalition, that'll likely continue to see yields go down. The other thing they're going to be focusing on is the 2020 budget. We really haven't heard anything yet about how the Five-Star Movement and Democrats, if they were to go in coalition, would deal with some of the thorny issues related to the budget for next year. And they'll eventually need answers, they being financial markets.
Yeah, I mean, and what risks should Italian bondholders be watching out for then, David? We've seen bonds move as a result of this, and in fact, we've seen some more appetite for Italian debt as a result of these reports that coalition talks are progressing, and we could be about to avoid another election.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kind of more particular issues they're going to be focusing on for the 2020 budget is how are they going to come up with 20 billion euros in savings? So if Italy is going to repeal the VAT increase that has already been legislated, and basically all political parties want to repeal that to avoid that tax increase, they have to come up with 20 billion euros in savings. We've had no answers yet as to how they might do that. And they'll probably also want to see, will these parties, the Five-Star Movement and the Democrats, avoid the big spending promises that Salvini, the head of the League, has had recently. Just last week, he promised an additional 50 billion euros in spending and tax cuts. That's a big number for Italy. That's more than 2% of GDP. And in the past, the Five-Star Movement has focused quite a bit on huge spending pledges, though more recently they've been quiet on them. So they're going to want to see those details related to 2020 budget. And then beyond that, they're going to be focused on how stable is this going to be. Of course, the 2020 budget only provides funding for 1 year. It's not so long down the road that we'll be back in these negotiations once again. And they'll be worried about Salvini as well. He does remain the most popular politician in Italy right now, according to opinion polls. And will he come to power in, say, another 6 to 9 months if this coalition doesn't prove durable?